fundamentals with respect to turbo machines in your unit 1. When we speak of fluid machines, what is a fluid machine? The fluid machine is one which will work or converting the energy from the fluid into rotary motion, or vice versa. Or I have a rotary motion energy in the shaft or something which I can transfer to the fluid. Okay. Now, what are the fluids which we use it actually? We may use, so roughly we may use gas, air or water. So what is this gas actually? That is a burnt gases, what we see in gas turbine. So air, it's nothing but compressor or whatever it may be, or water, it is your hydro energy or what we call. So all this is depending upon the fluid what I'm going to use. So I call those as fluid machines. So in fluid machines, broadly I can classify to 3 divisions, major divisions. One being the turbo machine, the other one being the positive displacement. Look at this, it's only displacement machines. And the other one, there are certain miscellaneous devices which neither fall into turbo machines nor positive displacement machines. Now, coming to this turbo machine classification, what's happening over there? It is the energy transfer. So in a turbo machine, energy transfer takes place. Now, how the energy is flowing? See, you have the energy which need to be transferred from the fluid. So fluid is having a very high energy, and I need to transfer this to your machine or rotary machine or whatever it may be. If the energy is transferred from fluid to rotor, what's happening there? I need kind of a machine. I'm going to work. That is, I'm going to extract the work from the fluid. So it is a work doing machine, or it's a work producing machine. So such a machine we call it as a turbine. Similarly, if I want to transfer the energy to the fluid, just like I want to transfer the energy to the water, so you take example of a centrifugal pump. So what I want to do from this sump actually, I want to transfer the energy to the fluid so that it can go to the first floor or second floor to a height, particular height. So if the energy is transferred from the rotor or rotary motion of that particular thing to the fluid, I have the different classification. That is work absorbing machine. They're going to absorb the work and transfer the energy to the fluid. So we have compressor, pump, fan, blower. Now if you look at the compressor, so what are the difference between all these fans, compressor, blower? It's all the working pressure. If the working pressure is high, I call it as a compressor. If the working pressure is low, very low, I call that as a fan. If the working pressure is in between your compressor and the blower and all on the fan, I call that as a blower. So roughly, so blower will have a working pressure of around 1.09 or 1.1 bar or whatever it may be. Compressor, I may go up to 10 times, 8 times, 12 times like that. And fan, it's very slight difference in slightly above your atmospheric. The only thing is the fan, what I see is actually, I could see the movement of volume of fluid. But now, what are these positive displacement machines? So positive displacement machines means actually a certain amount of fluid is contained in a chamber and is it pushed actually. So in that actually we have, so if there is energy transfer from fluid to the rotor, you can't call it a rotor, but mechanical, some kind of an equipment. That is a piston or whatever it may be. Or the movement of the mechanical movement of the piston, if I transfer to the fluid, so we have whether gear motor or vane motor or gear pump or vane pump. And the reciprocating, if I look at it actually, these are the rotary one. If I have the reciprocating, we have the diaphragm or discharge pump. And miscellaneous devices, if you look at it, we have air operated hydraulic valves, you might have seen if you are traveling by BMTC bus, you might have seen that there will be an hydraulic jack or something. They are all hydraulic operated, or it can be pneumatic operated. So brake devices, those are called as brake devices. So there are certain airlift pump, jet pump, they're all hydraulic lamps, they're all belong to special devices category. So if you look at the classification, we have turbo machines, positive displacement machines, and miscellaneous devices. This is the broad classification. Okay. What I have is, I have put some sketches actually, because very, very important, which you might have come across, which you are going to study in this course. So one such example is actually, I have the Pelton wheel. If you have taken the lab, actually turbo machines lab course, maybe first or second experiment, you have this Pelton wheel. What is this Pelton wheel? It is a hydraulic impulse turbine. What's happening here actually? So I'm going to take the fluid through a penstock or something, and I have a nozzle at the end. That means what exactly I'm trying to do? I'm trying to increase the kinetic energy of the water and try to strike the wheel. That means the buckets or vanes on the wheel. So when I try to do that, this wheel will start rotating. The wheel will start rotating. So now, what's happening here? The energy from the fluid is transferred to the rotor. So just now we studied what is a turbo machine turbine. The energy from the fluid is transferred to the rotor. So we call this as a turbine. Now you look at this particular thing. What's happening to the right hand side? I have a fan, or it can be a compressor, or whatever it may be. So what's happening here? The fan is rotating, or your vane, or your impeller, we call that as, it is rotating. It is connected to some shaft of a motor. So when it is rotating actually, so it is going to create some kind of a local negative pressure at the eye. We call that as at the eye, at the center point of the rotation, due to mainly centrifugal force. So what will happen? It's going to suck the air. The air is sucked in the eye, and it will flow through the vein. It will flow through the vein outside. If it is not closed, it can go disperse randomly. So what we try to do, we try to put one casing or housing, so that the air that is coming out, air or whatever fluid that is coming out, it is closed, it is taken in a closed conduit to outside by increasing its pressure. And that's what we have. If I'm doing at lower pressure, it becomes a fan or a blower. If I'm doing at the higher pressure, it becomes a compressor. Okay. Now, the same thing to the right hand side, I have actually axial flow fan. What is it actually? Whatever I'm trying to do in the centrifugal action, same thing I'm trying to do in the stages along the direction of the flow. So you have that, I have shown some arrows actually. You can see this actually. Inlet, you have the outlet. The flow direction is exactly parallel to the axis. The flow direction is exactly parallel to the axis. I might be having a rotor, then have a stator. So what is the stator? Stator is it's a guiding vane. It's going to guide the fluid movement. It's going to guide the fluid movement. So rotor, stator is called one stage. Next is rotor, stator, one more stator. You have rotor, stator, rotor, stator, rotor, stator. Three things you have, we call that as three stages. So if you have n number of such stages, maybe 13 stages, 14 stages, say for example, we have a compressor where we can have up to 13 or 14 stages. So what is the advantage of this particular stages actually? So I can go for stage compression. So from 1 to 2 bar, 2 to 4 bar, 4 to 6 bar, 6 to 8 bar, 8 to 10 bar. So each stage will compress the fluid by 2 bar. So then what will happen after 10 stages? I will be having 20 bar. That is 20 times it has been compressed with some losses, whatever it may be. But the fluid is exact. So when you go for stage compression, usually preferably we go for axial flow machines. So to the left hand side, I have one more. To the bottom, I have what is called as a Kaplan turbine. What is this actually? A Kaplan turbine? It's one more kind of a turbine which is used to extract the energy from the fluid when the shaft, when it is mounted vertically, the shaft, look at this shaft, this particular shaft, it is mounted vertically, the fluid will be flowing like this. You can see the direction. And if this is my axis direction, the fluid is exactly flowing parallel to it. That's why it is called as axial flow Kaplan turbine or propeller turbine. Why the propeller turbine? Because the blades look like a propeller. The blades are going to look like a propeller or propeller of a ship. That's why it is called as a, it's also called as a propeller turbine. Now, depending upon the working fluid, so whether I have a steam, whether I have a air, whether I have a gas, whatever it may be, so this may be a turbine or compressor, all those things. And one more major thing, what you look at in turbo machines actually, they are all running at certain speed. The speed may be in thousands of RPM, thousands of revolutions per minute. It can be 3000 RPM, it can be 500 RPM, it can be 18,000 RPM, it can be 20,000 RPM, whatever it may be. So few thousands of RPMs, revolutions per minute, clearly indicates that it is a turbo machine. So the major difference what I can feel from the turbo machine is turbo machine will be rotating at very high speeds. So when it is rotating at high speeds, it can impart the energy to the fluid or transfer the energy from the fluid to the rotor. So both way it is possible. Okay. Now when you look at the positive displacement machines, I have certain rotary type actually, a reciprocating type. I have the rotary type, which is a screw pump or simple cycle pump, what you have, one example, or our own art actually, which has for right ventricle, left ventricle, you have the astrum. So you have the particular valve. You can look at this valves actually. This valves, and this is nothing but your positive displacement machine. That means what is positive displacement machine? A certain volume of that volume is filled in that gap and it is taken out actually. There is an inlet, there is an exit. It can be taken out in the form of rotation at very low RPM. So gear pump may be rotating at few RPM, maybe 50 RPM or 20 RPM. But I can't run my turbo machine as 10 RPM. So major difference I can feel between my positive displacement machine and a turbo machine is actually turbo machines are running at high speeds and your positive displacement rotary positive displacement running at very low speeds. And also I have the positive displacement which is reciprocating, and I don't have any reciprocating turbo machine. So turbo machine means it is rotating at very high speeds to transfer energy from the fluid to the rotor or from the rotor to the fluid. Okay. When you speak of what are the parts of a turbo machine? So it has a shaft, then it has the, see you have the rotor, see whatever I have this, this is the rotor, and to the rotor you want to fix the vanes, this is called as rotor blades. Then the whole thing is covered by what we call it as housing or casing, and to the housing or casing I want to put the blades, those are called as stator blades. You can see this is called as stator blades. Then I do have an inlet and I do have an outlet. So what are the major parts of a turbo machine? Shaft, rotor, rotor blade, stator or housing, stator blade, an inlet and an exit. So these are the major parts of a turbo machine. Okay. So if you want to explain that actually, rotor is one, it's a wheel on which, it's also called as a hub, on which you are going to place or on which you are going to keep your or fix your rotor blades. Okay. What are the blades? The rotor blades are the one, because of their aerodynamic shape, they try to take the fluid so between their spaces, and there is a momentum exchange that is taking place between in that rotor blades. And the stator, actually what is the purpose of the stator? Stator will be covering the whole turbo machine. so that the fluid doesn't go out or spill out. The stator blades, the purpose of the stator blade is to guide the fluid from one position to other position, because they are adjacent to the rotor and it's going to guide. So it's going to guide from one, say for example, I do have the first rotor, I do have a stator, second rotor, second stator, third rotor, third stator. What will happen actually? The fluid coming out of the first rotor, it is guided to the second rotor using the first rotor vane, first stator vane. Then from the second rotor vane to the third rotor vane, if I want to guide it, actually I'll be taking the help of the stator guide, second stator guide vane. So what will happen? Look at this particular thing. The fluid is coming like this. This is my, maybe what I have is the stator, then I have a rotor, stator, rotor. So the stator vane will be guiding the fluid. So the first stator vane before your rotor, before the first rotor, it's called as inlet guide vane or IGV. So there are machines where you may be having more than one guide vanes, inlet guide vanes. There can be two inlet guide vanes also. So multi inlet guide vanes can be there. Okay, and in between whatever you have, they're all called as stator vanes. So guide vanes are the one which is going to guide the fluid. What it comes near the inlet to the fluid, we call that as inlet guide vanes or IGVs. Okay. Added to that, we have the shaft, which is taken as which is the output power from the from that particular rotor. So it can be connected to some kind of a coupling and connected to the generator or something to generate the electricity. So those are the fundamentals of what exactly is a turbo machine. We have come to that. What's a turbo machine? It's a device. In a device where there is a continuous flow of energy between what? Between the spaces, between the what we call it as the blade vanes or blade spaces or blade passages. You have the blade passages. In between that, the fluid is flowing. Continuously they are flowing. When the fluid is continuously flowing there, what will happen? If the rotor is, if I want to transfer the, what will happen in the fluid when the fluid is flowing? So the fluid will be transferring the energy to the rotor in a turbine, or from the rotor to the fluid, if it is a compressor or a fan or a blower. So either way it is possible. So on one side, what will happen? If it is transferring the energy from the rotor to the fluid, I will see an increase in the pressure. Okay. If I try to get the energy from the fluid to the rotor, I see a change in the momentum. So both way it is possible. But what is important here? Continuous movement of the fluid. There should not be intermittent. The movement of the fluid should not be intermittent. It should be continuous. What do you mean by continuous? The continuous from the fluid mechanics perspective means it is a steady flow and a steady state condition. A steady flow and a steady state condition movement of the fluid is called as continuous movement of the fluid. Okay. We look into this classifications. So already this classification is there based on the direction of the flow of energy, either from fluid to rotor or rotor to fluid. Fluid to rotor, it is power producing machine or turbine. If it is rotor to fluid, it is power absorbing machine, or it can be compressor, pump, fan or blower. Now depending upon the flow, if this is my axis, so if this is my axis, and what is radial? This is the radius. So you are going to measure the radius in this direction. If it is in the radial direction, if the out, that means fluid is coming out in the radial direction or going in the radial direction. So I can call it as radial inflow or radial exit, whatever it may be. If the flow direction with respect to inlet or exit, so those machines are called as radial flow machines. If the flow is parallel to the axis, I call those as axial machines. And you have a machine, maybe Pelton wheel, where the water will be exactly tangent to the wheel. A tangent to the wheel, so that's called as a tangential flow machine. So in case of a modern Francis turbine or some kind of a inclined bulb turbine, which is used in tidal power plant, so either the flow is neither radial nor axial nor tangential. It may be partially radial and partially axial. So we call such a flow as mixed flow. And those machines are called as mixed flow machines. Now, depending upon the type of fluid I'm going to use, if I use water, those are called as hydroturbo machines. If I use some burnt gases, I call them as thermal turbo machines or gas turbines. If I use steam as the working fluid, those are called as steam machines or steam turbines or steam machines. Now, depending upon the dynamic action, that means how the energy is transferred or how the energy is converted. So impulse machines will have the kinetic energy. If I'm going to convert complete kinetic energy into mechanical energy, I'm going to convert the complete kinetic energy into mechanical energy. It is called as impulse machines. So if I use both kinetic energy as well as your potential energy, I call that as reaction machines. Okay. So in case of reaction machines or in case of impulse machines, it is the conversion of energy that matters. Whether the kinetic energy or the both potential and kinetic energy. To what? Mechanical energy, or mechanical energy converted to kinetic energy, or mechanical energy converted to your total energy, both potential or something. So in reaction machines, we do have something called as all the energy which is in potential, or maybe we try to convert into what we call as static form. Maybe best example is when you look at the Euler equation, we have what is called as the static pressure, that is centrifugal force, or your what we call it as your relative energy. So these energies with respect to your total energy, which consists of centrifugal, relative energy as well as your kinetic energy, all combined together. We have all these things. So when you classify, these are the things what we need to look at. Now coming to the positive displacement machines. As I told that fluid flows in a confined space, the first thing, the whole machine is running at very low speed, or it will be either, if it is reciprocating, it will be reciprocating at very low speeds. And here the most important thing is actually the volume or the quantity of the fluid. It matters. And maybe because as the whole machine is not running at very high speed, the kinetic energy as well as your moment energy are negligible. Your kinetic energy and your momentum energy are negligible. So these are some very basic fundamentals of your turbo machines.